everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been 5 full months since I made my last video, and that was during the winter solstice. So a little update about all of what's going on. So typically during the winter solstice, as I was sharing in my last video, the winter solstice is when the night is the longest. The earth is furthest away from the sun. So the darkness is the longest during that day, right? And so during that time, I noticed as we are approaching the winter solstice, the people who are coming for me for help are bringing in very, very dark energy. We're talking about, it wasn't just like regular entity extraction or spirits or attachment. These are demons and demonic beings and demon kings and princes. And that was when I really dig deeper into understanding and learning all these different demons. There's 72 demon kings and also 72 angels. And so as we go towards the winter solstice, that's when it gets really dark. Now, the summer solstice, which is coming up in a month on June 20th, that is when the sun is closest to the earth. Now we're talking the northern hemisphere, right? It could be opposite. It could be different depending on where you are in the world. So in the United States, the northern hemisphere, as we're approaching the summer solstice, this is where daylight is going to be the longest. The earth is closest to the sun. So there's going to be a lot of light coming through. And when all this light comes through, then it's going to push up all the shadows to be transmuted. And when all these shadows are coming up, you want to pay attention of what's projecting into your reality, right? Because everything that happens in our reality is either a collective energy or the energy that we are projecting within us. Most of the time, it's the energy we're projecting here out into our reality, okay? So, yes, let's talk about witchcraft. So today's video is gonna be a little bit different. Rather than just telling you guys like what all the different types there are, which I am going to kind of give you an idea of what's all out there. But I also want to bring up the energy and have you guys pay attention to your body if it is something that is present within your energy field. That's gonna be very important for you to understand, because if it's coming up, it's looking for a way out. Okay? A lot of times when things come up and we get scared, we suppress it. But the thing is, when it comes up, it's looking for an outlet to be released. If not, it's going to project into our reality. So if there is this fear of getting being in danger, or so one of the Moldavites I was working, that's not a good example, but okay, so just be conscious that whatever's coming up is looking for a way out. And if we don't release it, then it's going to be projected into a reality to mirror us, to let us know that, hey, something is over here that needs to be extracted or removed. Okay? That's the simplest way I can put it for you guys. Now, as I was going through all this witchcraft removal, I noticed it's actually rooted in, sometimes this witchcraft is done by us through different timelines and different past lives. That's rooted from a broken heart. So when I saw this for an expanded version of seeing what all was happening, there were lifetimes when I did witchcraft on another person. And if we are all waking up to be source, then that person that's doing the witchcraft, it's a fragment of ourself. That makes sense? If we are all extensions of source, then the person that's doing the witchcraft is part of us. So the way to help extract and remove the darkness is to undo all the stuff that we are, when we're synced up to that energy, is to undo it. Right? So there were lifetimes when I did witchcraft on other people. And then when I uncovered that through these different regressions, or when these energies come up and I get the guidance like, hey, I did witchcraft on another person in another lifetime, then I went back and I undo it. Lift, dispel, uncreate, and destroy all witchcraft that I've done upon others and that I've done upon myself. And typically when it comes to like witchcraft, spells, hexes, depending on where you are on your path energetically, typically if the witchcraft is done by someone that's more powerful than you, right? If you haven't got to their level yet, then the person lifting that spell or hex or curse needs to be of equal or greater power to undo that. It could be a family curse. I had a family curse within my bloodline in this lifetime. It could be hexes, it could be voodoos, it could be spells. You can try to lift and dispel the curses and black magic and witchcraft, but from what I experienced, what I have my knowledge at this point in time, you've got to be an equal or greater power to even lift those kind of spells. Okay? And so how we can overcome a lot of, like, extract a lot of the darkness is once we tap back and we realize like, hey, one of the lifetimes I did something bad to another person, then what you can do at this point in time, in this present moment, is I now wish to I now wish to lift, dispel, uncreate, and destroy all black magic, witchcraft, spells, hexes, curses, all that I've done upon another person, all that I've done upon myself. Uncreate and destroy all and send it back to source. And if you're not able to send it back to source yet, then just hand it over to Jesus. I now hand it over to Jesus to help extract and remove. Okay? So that when we go back and we find out some of these timelines that we did black magic on another person, what we can be responsible for in this point in time, in this present moment, is undo it. And the moment that you undo that from your energy field, remember, if you're not of equal or greater power to the person who did the witchcraft to you, then you can't lift and dispel it yet. But what you can do is lift and dispel the black magic that you've done on another person at one point in time. Make sense? And then that would slowly, eventually, started removing the darkness within your field. Remember, if it's coming up, if someone's doing black magic to you, then you want to reflect back here and ask yourself, have I done black magic on another person? Remember, we're always going to be projecting what's energetically here that's pulling in the energy from out in our reality. So that's one thing you want to ask first. If you're getting voodoo, if you're getting attacked, if you're getting witchcraft sent your way, ask, have I done witchcraft on another person in another lifetime? Or at some point in time that it needs to be lifted and dispelled. And if you got a yes, then you will say, I now lift, dispel, uncreate, and destroy all black magic, witchcraft, curses, spells, and hexes that I've done upon another or upon myself. And you can send it back to source, or you can hand it over to Jesus. Jesus, help me lift, dispel, uncreate, and destroy all, and send it back to source. okay? Our connection to source is something that you have to build that channel, lining all your chakras to be full in alignment to have that connection to source. But as you are progressing and clearing to get to that point, right? We're all trying to get back to source, right? You'll know when you have that connection to source, because this is where all the energy is transferred through, it's channeled through. Otherwise, we are just releasing, replenishing, or we're releasing energy and we're pulling energy from others to replenish ourselves, or pulling it from the earth to replenish ourselves. But when you have the connection to source, you can pull in energy from source, which replenishes your energy field. But while you're working on that journey, it took me about 5 years and a lot of Moldavites to break through to source. Some people have that straight connection to source when they do some plant medicine, but over time, that if you don't keep that constant alignment, then you can lose that connection to source. Like some people have that one-off when they do the plant medicine and got connected to source. Other times they just feel depleted and they're not able to pull in that energy anymore. So consistently, you would have to check in, am I connected to source? Oftentimes when I check in and I feel like, well, my crown is blocked, my third eye is blocked, then I would have to go back and do Reiki or clear myself to open that channel again. Our connection to source is something we have to consistently build and clear to maintain that connection. Make sense? And so while if you're not there yet, then Jesus would be the closest connection to the direct connection to source. Now, if you don't believe in Jesus, you can ask your guides, your intuition, to see which ascended masters that you can call upon to help you release and lift these black magic witchcraft that you've done personally on one point in time, okay? Remember, you're going in here with no judgment. It's not right or wrong, it's not good or bad. It's what's energetically that's there. And plus, these happen in past lifetimes. How do you even know that, wow, I actually did that? We don't. So there is no judgment. There is no, take away the judgment, the point of view. You want to stay neutral whenever you're doing these extractions and clearing. Because the moment that you judge yourself, you felt like, oh, I'm a horrible person, I did that, or you don't want to tell people about it. But again, it's an energy. It's all energy. It just needs to be removed out of your system. And people can sense that. Whether you say it or not, if when you're around someone that the energy is really off, like you can sense it. Right? Again, it's all energy. So when you're doing this, it's very important to stay in a state of neutrality. Clear it. If it's coming up, it's on its way out. Okay? So this is an inside job of what you can do in this present moment, is undo the witchcraft that we've done to another person in another lifetime or another reality. So that's one. Now, when we're talking about people doing witchcraft to us, and it could come through different routes, okay? Different ways that witchcraft can come through. One is you are connected to a person who's heavily infiltrated. So I remember one of my friends, he called me and we were talking, and he shared that, you know, he was talking to this other girl, and like she was really opening up to him and sharing all this like trauma that she went through. And so the more that we open up to others and we are not aware how to release these energies on our own, then the energy can come over, okay? And I remember my friend told me, it's like, after that conversation with her, like they talked for 2-3 hours, but after that, he's been having some like crazy intense stomach pains. And the denser the energy, it can actually surface as symptoms within the body. And over time, masses can build up to be diseases. And what I've realized when it comes to something cancerous, something within the body that is, within the family, typically I notice is connected to some kind of family curse, right? Because the energy is really dense and it became cancerous. And then you can say it's genetic, but it's actually coming over to another person within the bloodline. So that is, so far what I believe is a bloodline curse. It's not removed yet, it's not extracted. It's a dense energy that needs to be extracted and removed. Okay, and remember, the only way that I found to effectively remove this witchcraft or these curses on a deeper level is through connection with source. Because none of this extraction, demonic extraction, witchcraft, voodoo, hexes, none of this entered my field until I broke through and made that connection to source. And I believe that is the only time that we can actually extract and remove it on our own. If not, you need to go out and look for a priest, another medium that can help you extract it. Like when we're doing a demonic extraction, if someone's doing demonic extraction, and once they pull out that demon and they don't have that connection to source, right? They're not able to send it back to source, then they need to find somewhere to house those demons. And that is where jinn is a genie, is also a demon. That's why it's locked in within that lamp, right? Or if you find a bottle somewhere, it could be attached to a box or an item. This could also include witchcraft or black magic. That entity, the demon, is stuck within that item because that person who extracted or tried to remove it has not built that connection to source to send it back to source. Okay? But yeah, check in with your intuition to see if you're connected to source. And if it's yes, then keep asking questions. And if it's a no, then ask, what is my one next step? Okay? All you're going to do and control at this point in time is be in the present moment and ask, what's my one next step? And if you're aligned in the truth, you're aligned in the light. If you're ask that your intention be aligned with your highest timeline, highest path, and highest self. And from there, you ask, in this present moment, what is my one next step? And you would get a thought, you would get an answer. One of the other important things that I think a lot of people overlook is you want to decipher, like, whose thoughts are these? Are these my thoughts or someone else? The questioning is going to be very important because you can uncollapse whose thoughts are these. Sometimes it could be your parents, sometimes it could be the surrounding environment's thoughts, sometimes it can be through Wi-Fi, all these energies transferring through the collective. So you want to get clarity on whose thoughts are these. And if it's not your thought, then clear it. Ask your guides or ask Archangel Michael, ask Jesus to help you remove these thoughts and clear your field. Okay? But yeah, I've learned quite a bit from all these different sessions about witchcraft removal. And another thing I realized is when I synced up with a session and I'm scanning through the person's energy field, all of a sudden I feel like a stab in the back, or a stab within my womb, or like a stab within my neck. And I think, dude, this is voodoo. And then when I checked in with the other person, like, they felt the same pain. So, but yeah, when we are in each other's energy field, I typically can sense it when I do this body scan because these things are so much deeper. But if you're around someone and you start opening up to them, then you can probably sense what they're sensing. Okay, so it's going to be very important for you to be aware of spiritual hygiene as well, cutting the cords when it is necessary. And these demons, these entities can actually, in voodoo actually, can actually come through when either one, you're under some kind of influence, when you're drunk, or when you're like doing some substance and you're vulnerable energetically, then entities and attachments can come through. Okay. There's also something that came through called Santeria that that two people came through, was close to getting involved in that Santeria stuff until they actually was guided to me. And so we had to so Santeria is similar to witchcraft, except they're using a medium to connect to source. And through this medium, they're doing a lot of animal sacrifices to give offerings to these mediums, or this person that's going under like a possession in a way, to get answers and to get favors or energies to help whatever this person's asking for. Okay. But I would say anything that involves sacrifice, I wouldn't fully put my trust in it. I think the most important thing for you to do is get into full alignment and build a connection to source yourself. And while you're on that path and you're not able to connect to source yet, align yourself in truth and the light, and it'll guide you to who can assist you and who can help you. Okay. Where else can witchcraft come through? Yeah, but witchcraft can also go through cords. If you have a cord with someone who's very heavily infiltrated, that could enter your field. So cord cutting and spiritual hygiene is going to be very important as well. Yeah, I think that's all I really got for today's video, was give you guys kind of an update of all that's been going through. And you know what I realized? I actually, the other day, I actually removed some kind of witchcraft that was stuck in my throat. And some of these attachments go really, really deep. So we would have to continually heal in layers until we get to like where it is. And so a lot of these clears I've been doing, I noticed a lot of things are coming through my teeth. The energy is coming up and out of my teeth, my jaw, my neck, and my shoulders. So there was a lot of vows of silence from during the days of witchcraft. And even being on a social media platform, it's very important that I shield myself, because attacks can come in through here too, right? Because it is an open cord. But that's why you can see some of these YouTubers who's like hit their high, but then all of a sudden they like go through a really low low. You never know who's casting what on you when they're exposed, when your videos are exposed to everybody. But that is something that you'll learn if you're being called to step into speaking to the masses. That's going to be important for you to learn how to protect yourself energetically, shield yourself, and become aware of when stuff comes up that is not yours. And also be aware of what's projected in your reality, because it always comes back to what's here that's projecting out. Okay? But that's a little bit update. Once I removed that thing from my throat, 2 days later, I got the go that, hey, I can start making videos again. Is that crazy? But yeah, I've been doing a lot of deep extractions. And I'm learning a lot from the people who are coming to me for these different removals, because I've never really been exposed to them myself. But walking them through, I'm guided to learn more about it, to know how to extract it. But yeah, the universe is always going to bring you in what you're prepared for. So it's all about letting go of that fear of, I'm not ready, I can't do it, or I'm scared, right? Because that was one of my things when I first tapped into this demonic extraction, is I don't want to bring this energy in that it could affect my loved ones, my family. But all these different tools came in for me to learn how to do what I need to do to be of service, because we're all going to be, once you get to different levels, you're going to be asked to step up to help others. And it's really important that you build that connection to source. Okay? But that's all I really have for everybody. If you feel called for some witchcraft removal, and even if you're tuning into this video, there's already something resonating with you, within you, that's pulling you in. Okay? So my information is in the description. Follow your intuition. Ask, what is my one next step in this present moment, and go from there. Other than that, I believe I will start making more videos. I don't know, one day at a time, people. So maybe I'll see you next time, maybe I won't. We'll see where the energy leads. Other than that, I'm sending everyone here love and light. Be aligned in the truth, and I'll take you to where you need to go. Timmy Doe, signing off.